All right, and welcome back to the Gotham Expo 2024 here in New York City, specifically in Astoria with Nina. Nina, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
So you're here representing two different local thingamajigs. So first one, the Astoria Film Festival.
Yep.
And then the second one, which is very exciting as a father of a 13-year-old boy, is the Motion Picture Tech
High School.
High School, which is brand new. So let's start at the beginning. And sorry if I'm doing some weird B-roll stuff, but let's start at the beginning. Tell us about the film festival.
Sure. So I have a background in TV and film production, and then did a master's in education, and I worked in after-school education for a while. Was at the Boys and Girls Club here in Astoria, and saw a need and a desire for local filmmaking workshops from the students that we worked with through the Boys and Girls Club. So I started the festival because I was like, the desire for the workshops was growing, and I needed more filmmakers. So I figured if I threw a festival, I'd find local filmmakers and then drag them in to help with the students, and that worked out really well. So we currently run film education programs in 10 local schools. And we have a media production lab where we have like 15 to 25-year-olds kind of work with industry professionals to learn. It's a 4-month program, and they learn different things. But then we also have the festival where we premiere all of their work and treat them like VIP filmmakers.
And you mentioned that the film festival accepts people as young as 8.
We've had submissions from kids as young as 6, actually.
Wow.
Our film education programming starts with age 8.
Wow.
We have them do storyboarding and pitching, and so we want them to be able to write. Mm-hmm. we used to have 6-year-olds, but the writing kind of became a thing. So now it's 8 and up, but we do from 8 to adults. We have workshops locally.
I can barely write, and I'm a little bit older than 6.
We have workshops for you. It's all good.
So you mentioned, and I'm sorry to bounce around a little bit, but we had a really interesting conversation before. You mentioned that you started in children's television.
Yes.
And I guess that's a little bit the inspiration for the Motion Picture Tech High School. So tell us a little bit about that, about how you started, and then how this came about.
Sure. So I was born and raised here in Astoria, immigrant parents, working class, and then I wanted to really go into children's television when I came out of college, and I literally just walked around handing my resume out as much as I could to try to get an internship. And I had no connections, and I didn't even know what you could do in I just knew I wanted to be part of that world. And I did eventually get an internship after about 8 months of walking around and talking to people.
Physically going to people?
No, physically. I'm old. Physically going like door to door and begging receptionists to pass my resume along. I got an internship at Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego,
so cool.
which filmed at Kaufman Studios, and I lived a few blocks from there, so it was a very easy commute. I did an internship at the Museum of the Moving Image. I did an internship with Sesame Street, and that was kind of my start.
How do you get to Sesame Street? Can you tell us?
You go down 35th Avenue.
Who knew it was that simple? I actually did. It's right down the street from Gotham.
Yeah.
So anyway, continue. Sorry.
And then from there I went over to Nickelodeon, helped launch the Noggin channel.
Oh, wow.
And eventually went back to school for child development and education and technology. Mm-hmm. And then kind of got sideswiped into after school programming. So the festival is kind of ultimate combination of my production work with my education love, and I've been working in local high schools and middle schools and grammar schools for years, and I met a lot of teachers, and one of them was Kevin Lopez, who was the teacher at Sinatra for the film department, and then also a teacher and then assistant principal at art and design for the film department, and he was the force behind Motion Picture Tech. And kind of getting the city to back it. It's a fully public high school. It'll be opening in Queens in September 2024. Getting the city to kind of support it, he needed an industry partner, and I was like, I'm 100% in. So we're one of the founding partners in Motion Picture Tech, but we've got a whole bunch of beautiful partners, and look forward to more partnerships as we go along. And the whole thing is, it's an unscreened school. It aligns so much with what I started the festival for. It's an unscreened school helping kids who wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to get the skills, experience, and connections they need to get into this industry, right? So if you need that to get these jobs, right? So if you're not somebody's nephew or niece, you have us, right?
Yeah.
I'll be your auntie. I'll be he's your uncle. We really want to be able to help kids who want to get into this industry get all of the things they need, the ducks in a row to get into the industry, basically.
Yeah. I think just to say how important it is for people that know what they want. So I was very lucky. I went to a high school that had a radio television station.
Wow.
And I don't think I would have known that
Yes.
I wanted to do it without the exposure. It was literally like just standing around in the hall and somebody was like, "Hey, are you a member of this?" And I was like, "No." And then, the next day I was
Yeah.
like editing. And it was
Yes.
really cool.
No, it's 100% exposure, right? Like my dad was a barber, so I wasn't exactly exposed to the television world other than watching it, voraciously. And even when I came out of college, I'd studied fine art and architecture, but I didn't have the money to do architecture school. So I was like, all right, what do I do now? And I really love children's television. So again, just pounding the pavement, but I was lucky that I lived down the block from Kaufman, and I knew and I had, when I was in 7th grade, my teacher's husband was a gaffer at Kaufman, so he snuck us in to like see a set, and I was blown away. And like otherwise, I would never know what happened. So we want to do the same for local kids who want that, career, but don't really know how to get from A to B. And that's what we do with the Film Festival education programs. That's what we're going to do at Motion Picture Tech. We have 200 freshmen coming in September. They are all excited. We are all excited. So we're just here making connections and want people who want to talk to our kids and teach our kids stuff to reach out to us at astoriafilmfestival@gmail.com. Happy to talk to you. I'm Nina. Please.
That's great. Well, I mean, look, the next generation, obviously, like, people need to share their experience so that future generations can build. And we were really lucky to your kids in a couple of weeks ago.
We were lucky. You guys did such a great job with them. And they were really, there's just so much we can teach them theoretically. Like, we need industry partners to give them hands-on experience and just like talk about their own personal experiences. Like that, above everything else, it really makes an impact on the kids to know. Like when somebody shared, we had a gaffer who shared like how they did the lighting for the subways in Russian Doll. Kids were blown. I was blown away. Like everybody was blown away. Like it's practical information. It goes miles with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, we're going to wrap it up, but just a final plug. So we've got the Astoria Film Festival. When is the film festival?
Our film festival is coming up. It's May 30th to June 2nd in person at RE Rental and also at Kaufman Studios, and then it will be June 3rd to 6th. We'll have online work panels, career panels, law workshops, that kind of stuff. So join us, AstoriaFilmFestival.org.
And then the Motion Picture
Tech High School will be opening September 2024 here in Queens. 200 brand new freshman students who are in love with the idea of becoming filmmakers. And it's below the line workers is what we're targeting. So if you are a below the line worker and want to chat with our children, please get in touch with us. We would love to hear from you.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Well, Nina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the comments. I will get to them later on today. I promised, Almanacs. But for this video and more, check us out on gothamsound.tv. And as always, email us at info@gothamsound.com. Almanacs, I promise that's not horror. I promise. All right. Have a good one.